ready, set, and continue on this. I'm bringing you actually not another Walk on the Dark Side. Instead, I did one or two of these before. I'm doing a Let It Rock segment. I'm going to review an upcoming album. Unfortunately, it's kind of an incomplete review because I only heard 2 songs off the album because the album comes out April 8th. And what album am I talking about? If you haven't seen the description, the new Deftones. I've been a fan of the Deftones since I think it was like 96, I think. I was in high school and I had picked up, I think it was like $5-6, this compilation. I think it was called Tonnage, Volume 1 or 2. And it had like, I think, Korn, Chutes and Ladders, or Blind. I think a new Dropkick Murphy song, and there was something else on it that I was really interested in. Never heard of the Deftones. They were on it, and when the Deftones came on, it was 7 Words was the song, and I was completely blown away by just the sheer energy and atmosphere that they had created. It was a little different than a lot of the quote-unquote new metal that was coming out, like Disturbed. Disturbed hadn't come out yet, but like Korn and all that, Endo, and it was unique, and I liked it so much I absolutely had to buy the album when it came out, and I was a fan. I was hooked. I was like, these guys are just great. From Bored to 1 Week, Birthmark being, I just love that song, Birthmark, because it's like kind of slower, a little bit more quiet, and then just that build up at the end where he's just screaming at the top of his lungs, in spite, I still lie. It was just like, oh my god, it was so amazing. And then after The Fur came out, or around The Fur came out, and it just went even more mind-blowing to me. And then it was when White Pony came out, it was like, holy crap. And they had all these different versions of them, like the original, then there was like, I forget what color, I think it was like black and white, and then, I'm pretty sure it was black and white. There's like a silver and white. I had the rare one, which was like a red case. It was really cool. It was just solid red. It wasn't see-through. It was solid red, and it had like some I think it had Boys Republic on it or something like that. And then later they did that extended edition where they dropped Pink Maggot and put the new redone version, which we all know as Back in School. And it was a very different album. Very different from, like, you can actually look at Adrenaline and Around the Fur and be like, okay, so they were kind of younger doing Adrenaline. They learned some stuff on tour. It was almost like not a remake of the album, because it still is different, but it still holds a lot of the same stylings as Adrenaline, just a little bit more mature sounding, I would kind of say. While White Pony showcased kind of more of a radio-friendly-ish type sound to a lot of the songs, like Changing the House of Flies. That one was definitely, I won't say that they tried to really sell out or do something commercial. I think that Terry Dates tried to bring, the producer, tried to bring a little bit more of a universal type appeal to the crowd, kind of broaden the you know the fan base a bit, but yet still showcase that full on aggression, like with the song Elite or Korea, which was Elite is one of my favorite songs, which won a Grammy, if you did not know, which I found really surprising that that won the Grammy, yet it wasn't a single, and Changing the House of Flies was, and that got radio play out the wazoo. It was like they had this cool acoustic version off the little Nicky soundtrack. It was like all over the place. And then you had, of course, the self-titled, which was probably the noisiest, grungiest album, and and as it went, as a lot of you diehard fans know, unfortunately, Shay, their bass player, he got into a car accident and was in a coma for I think 2 years, maybe even longer, and unfortunately one night he just slipped away and he died, and there's so many musicians, especially this year. We had Lemmy dying, we had David Bowie dying, and they were big musicians to me. I mean, it was definitely a kind of a really rough year in the way of music this year. But I have to admit, when Shay died, there was something really personal to me when he passed away, because on that first tour, my friend had actually won tickets to see Korn and the Deftones, and we went to see him. We were like Korn's album was really riding high, and we kind of really went more for Korn than Deftones, even though I had heard Deftones, but I didn't know what the Deftones were like live, and it was just mind blowing. And when we got out of the show, the Deftones were actually hanging out outside and everything, and we walked over and shook their hands and told them like how much we really enjoyed the show, and just it was really cool. They were very friendly and everything, and Shay especially, I can't express this enough. Like if you didn't have the privilege to meet him, truly one of the kindest, sweetest people you will ever meet in your life. And it really meant a lot to me to meet him, and there was no ego there. He was a little shyish, just very nice, complimenting, great sense of humor. I could go on and on and on. And outside of just personality, I love the sound of his bass playing. It's just, he always, I can't say that he was one of the most technical bassists or one of the quote-unquote greatest bassists, but with what he knew in creating an atmosphere and tone, that sounds a little pun there, he really, he really made the band sparkle with that. He put this great atmosphere onto it. And a lot of bands, the bass really sits as in the background. It's just really just there to accent the bass drum a little bit. And Deftones, I always felt like all parts of the band, even when they got Frank to do mixing and stuff, it was always equal parts, and I love that about them. They never let anyone take a back seat. So, unfortunately, he was in the state he was and passed away, and they were actually touring to raise money for the hospital bills and everything. So they got the bassist from Quicksand, which is he's great. He really is. I will not take anything away from him. Excellent choice, but unfortunately, Shay, there was just something about him that will forever be missed, and we can't have him back. And I don't even know the guy's name from Quicksand, but hey, dude, you're doing great. Keep it up. I love like seeing the live videos, and he's got a big smile on his face. He's enjoying it. It's good to see that in musicians and everything. So the reason why I really go into a little in depth about that is that if you are a Deftones fan, you know that this year they put out the single for Smile, which is off the Eros album. Euros, why exactly Euros is so important to the Deftones community is that it's the last album with Shay. It's the final thing. So, we knew that single had come out and was like, oh man, like, Euros is finally coming out. We're finally going to hear the last of Shay. And that sounded bad, I didn't mean it like that. And me personally, I can't wait to hear it. Smile is a great song. I really want to hear what else is on there. I mean, we got like a nice moodier song, almost uplifting at points. The song "Smile" is insightful, kind of like a spiritual song, and which is great. I love that, but I'm also wondering if I get a little bit of that furious like bass playing, some aggression on the album. And lo and behold, out of the blue, boom, there's another song that comes out. Prayer and Triangle, it's called. But it's not for Euros, it's for Gore coming up. So, why Gore and not Euros? Euros is an older album that just never released, and the Deftones have gone on record saying that they're just not ready to put it out. And I understand. I mean, that was their best friend since like high school. And, Deftones have been around for 20 years, over 20 years now. This is going to be the 8th album. Technically, they've recorded 9 albums because of Euros. Just hasn't released. And, countless touring. I mean, the band was tight. A lot of bands, you get the lineup switches and everything. And all Shay did was add another guy, which was Frank. And then Shay dying. Of course, they had to replace and carry on. And, I'm a huge fan of the Deftones, Crosses, Palms, Team Sleep. I like it all, I really do. Shay's spoken word album was great too. And, so anything that comes out of Deftones, I'm really in for. And I was thoroughly shocked by what I have heard of this new album. Triangles or prayers / triangles. And then there's another song that leaked called Xeno, which with both of the songs, there's like this new chapter of the Deftones, much more kind of trippier feel, but still edgy, some aggression, there's a heaviness. Like with Xeno, I think that it's the noisiest, heaviest, slowest piece of music that they've done. And I say piece of music because it's not a song, it's an instrumental. The very first time we're going to have a straightforward, it's like over 5 minutes long, instrumental. This song is so good. I mean, they bring it down to sludgy, slow pace, but still that, that distortion, the grungy, muddy type sound. Like all these like cool sounds going on. It's like I said, it's like muddy, but then it's got like these metallic type sounds throughout it, and same with Prayer Triangles. Once again, it has this like more psychedelic type feel to it. If you actually watch the video, it's this crazy video where it's all these pink flamingos flying in air, layered, and it's just the camera coming in, then like so much that it's like the flamingo's like right here, and then zooms back out, or rather outward, and it's like gore, and just the words, and zooms out, back forward. And I mean, it's nothing special of the video, but that little promotional video really kind of sets the tone of what to expect of what's coming in the way of Deftones. And hold on. But that's weird. The light, my flash went out. So anyway, so yeah, I'm thoroughly. I can't express how much I'm really excited about this album, and I'm always excited about Deftones albums. And I was really excited because I was going to get the last installment of Shay. It was like, I can't wait to hear what his last music efforts were going to be. And instead, they threw me a curveball and tossed me Gore. And I have to admit, there's just something about this album that it's new territory for them. I actually read a little thing that Stephen Carper, their guitarist, he actually he wasn't excited about the album, strangely. He said initially he really didn't enjoy the process. He actually felt like he was kind of left out of the recording process and everything. And he said that it was also one of the most technical and difficult albums to write. But after everything, he was like, I'm actually very proud of the album. But he still kind of feels like he was a little left out on this one, which I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there, so I can't speak for him. But I mean, that guitar playing on what I heard is so good. I mean, I think it's some of the best that he's come up. I think it's some of the best I've heard, period, of the Deftones. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have like my already established favorites, but already, I mean, I've listened to Prayers Triangles probably like 15, 20 times. Xeno I've listened to like 12 times, I think, and I forget the name of it. I could only find like a 30-second snippet of it, and that was really good. I mean, really, really good. And I hope that as a whole, this album's going to those elements are going to carry throughout and give me other like cool little surprises, because each song does have its own surprises already. And I may actually go as far to say this might actually become my personal favorite Deftone album. Maybe because it's so gutsy. It's I don't know. There's just something about it. Absolutely. I mean, these are on the two songs are on YouTube, so go ahead, check them out. Xeno and Prayer Triangles. Check them out. Tell me what you're thinking of the new Deftones. Are you excited? As excited as I am? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I am every day checking out the tour dates, because I gotta see them live again, especially on this tour. And they have a cool opening band. They were like teenagers writing their first album called the Code Orange Kids. I won't get too much into them, but check them out. Like I said, they were actually, I think they're just Code Orange, not, they dropped the kids because they grew up some, that they're no longer under 18. Yes, that's right, they were under 18 writing their first album. I thought it was absolutely amazing. It's really, really heavy. It keeps you guessing every second that they perform. And what a concept of having them and Deftones. I just really see that cool mashup of the two bands, and this is going to be. I discovered Code Orange Kids a couple months back. I was really shocked by them. I was like, I gotta see these guys live. And then my friend that I'm going to be singing Deftones with, he was like, yeah, opening act, it's something like Code Orange. I was like, oh my god, it's them. So it's like a twofer for me. But yeah, tell me, are you excited about going to see them? Are you excited for the album? What's your favorite album of the Deftones? Do you listen to Smile and then listen to the songs from Gore, and tell me, which would you rather be seeing coming out? Do you favor more of Gore to be coming out, or would you really rather have Euros? Me personally, I don't really care either way. I just want more Deftones, and I know eventually, they even said eventually when they are ready, no matter what, their fans will get Euros. It's just too fresh of a wound for them. They're still getting over it, getting used to it. They're just not ready to be going out on tour and playing those songs and looking over. I mean, I could only imagine, these were the last songs that you got to share with your best friend. And nothing against the new bassist, once again, but I can only imagine looking over on tour and just not seeing for those songs. And I feel for them so much, and I love this band. But yeah, tell me what you think. I want to hear what you guys. I'm always interested in chatting with Deftones fans. So. From one fan to another, tell me what you think. Also, this doesn't even have to be about Deftones. Tell me about, some other bands you like. Especially stuff that is a little obscure. I like everything, except pop music and country. I can't, and a lot of techno. I just can't do techno. Because I really don't like overly repetitive stuff. And also, I grew up with death metal. I had some death metal stuff. I had Cannibal Corpse and DSI and that type of stuff. And it was cool back in high school, but I've really kind of grown away from it because I found that, pop music and techno and all that, it gets so repetitive. It's nice in small measures, but I can't do full thing. But yes, so I'm going to end it there. Oh, and also tell me what your favorite. Give me your top 3 Deftones songs. That would be a fun one. Main releases or obscure ones, from that old demo, Lightness. That's a cool song. But yeah, so that was just an installment of Let It Rock, with doing a little Deftones there. I definitely want to do this more, but honestly, I haven't really found much new music that I'm really, really excited about lately. So, we'll see. Maybe I'll do kind of a little overview of some other albums that came out, but aren't worthy of a big segment like this. Kind of do 3-4 albums all together. But anyway, take care of yourselves. I love you, and much more will be coming. I'm going to stay on this. Expect more Walk on the Dark Side too. So, bye.